Hello and welcome to Clipping In. Sunday, the 11th of August. I've got a cracking ride today. It's in the Pennines. It's going to be 60 plus miles, lots of great hills, lots of great views, and we'll be passing by a couple of aerial giants. This was the ride I had planned for Yorkshire Day, the 1st of August. Whoops. But that week was a non-starter for cycling. I think I went 6 or 7 days without touching a bike, so that didn't happen. But we can either pretend this is Yorkshire Day, or we can save all that Yorkshire themed stuff for next year. I've passed through Holme first. Been riding just over 16 miles from home. Nice quiet Sunday morning, so I came out directly on the Huddersfield Ring Road. Barely saw a soul, which is nice. And the first objective is Holme Moss. Oh! There we have it. Holme Moss, with that distinct transmitter mast. I think it's about 250 meters high. But the hill itself is, I don't know in metric, but 1,700 and something feet. Holme Bridge, sweeping right, time to change chain rings. Just doing the direct Holme Bridge, Holme Village route today, as opposed to Digley, which I did a couple of months ago. And I've also got one on the list to do, starting with a descent from the Ford Inn. That should be spectacular. Approaching Holme Village now. Just to the left, after this speed bump, you see a sign in gold saying Underhill. That's a very famous underground eco house built about 50 years ago, and apart from some nice skylight windows, it's all underground, cleverly designed with regard to insulation and ventilation, and it was a futuristic ecological building all those years ago. Cracking view of the mast. This is a superb part of the hill. Real sense of scale with that rake. Love it. You know, 27 years ago this week I was on holiday in the Pyrenees, climbing, all the tour classics, 35, 36 degree heat in the valleys. Goodness me. Back in the day when pre-compact chain sets, oh, I had a triple 52, 42, 32, but I only had, I don't know if it was 23 or 25 on the back. So really, even if 32, 25, it's nothing like the gears we have now on compacts. Still, not the Pyrenees, but Holme Moss won't let us down. Here we are at the top of Holme Moss. Now, I've mentioned previously that it's the second birthday of the channel, second birthday of Clipping In, and this gift, I hope this comes out on the camera, if not I'll put an insert, is an old style enamel metal CTC badge sent by a friend. A real bit of vintage memorabilia there. Now that is the second birthday present. That is now going to accompany me for all the Clipping In rides. It's come all the way from Devon, and I will be showing the delights of the Pennines and the Dales all over again. Super, isn't it? Happy birthday. The eagle-eyed amongst you will have spotted at the start a different bike today, the orange Cannondale Super 6, which is a new addition to the stable. I want this ride to be all about the landscape and the countryside. Castle Hill, Almondbury over there, Emley Moor there, Emley Moor Mast, remember that? We'll be seeing it at close quarters later on. But I will do a feature on this bike at some point, maybe when I've done 500 miles or something. I'll do a first impressions and do a little bit of background about it. It could be quite an interesting supplementary video. Maybe I'll even do a series of short bike of the week type things, introducing you to this ever expanding stable of bikes. All right, let's get ready for descending mode. Not quite sure how this bike will handle down here. First time and all. Tour de France. Heading towards Dumford Bridge now. I came down Holme Moss onto the Woodhead which was nice and quiet on a Sunday. I got that out of the way, and now it's a nice little back road to Dumford Bridge, and then I'll be going Victoria Crossroads, Cumberworth. The wind is, it's an awkward one, it's southeasterly, which gave me parts of Holme Moss Climb were headwind, parts of the descent were crosswind, parts were headwind. It was a bit cheeky. And here, I can't really decide what this is. It's a sort of a crosswind again. Heading into wind turbine country. Roughly on the horizon, that's the area that local cyclists nowadays at least refer to as the windmills. There's a cafe over there, and I think it's called the Windmills Cafe. Remember that, I'll mention it later. Past Victoria Crossroads, and now there's this little outdoors. The road there on the right goes towards that Windmills Cafe that I mentioned. See, I said there'll be a link. Now up here, and I am overgeared, past those little cheering scarecrows, I hope that's what they are. This is now another quiet road. It'll take me towards Upper Cumberworth. Lovely country, lovely weather. I'm just carefully weaving through Cumberworth before it breaks out into open country again. So after getting just into Shelley and turning right, I'm now approaching the second of our aerial giants, Emley Moor Tower. Woohoo! It's taller than the Eiffel Tower, yeah. Although it hasn't featured in a James Bond film as far as I know. Or a Duran Duran music video. But this time, oh, this time. In fact, here's a question for you. If you were given a budget to film a Duran Duran music video, and you could get Simon Le Bon and the boys to come out here to Emley, which song would it be? Emley Moor Tower is significantly taller than Holme Moss Mast. I think almost 300 feet. The difference being, if you go by altitude above sea level, and the top of Holme Moss is higher than the top of Emley Moor. Yeah. Just choose your favourite and stick with it. There's our old friend, National Mining Museum, with the silver miner keeping an eye open for everyone. Pity he's not filled in some of these roads. After this I come into Middlestown and I'll be bearing left for Thornhill and Ravensthorpe. We're heading for about 54-55 miles. What a super ride. The weather's been absolutely perfect. Temperature's been superb for riding as well. Pleasantly warm, but not too warm. Yeah, so for this edition of Clipping In, that's all for now. But I will be back with some kind of a midweek edition, maybe featuring the new bike, or I might leave that for another couple of 100 miles till I've properly got a grip of it. Quite pleased today with how it went down Holme Moss, at least in a crosswind. Promising stuff. Right. No waffling. Bye bye for now. See you very soon back out on the Yorkshire roads. Bye bye.